And I don't know if you've decided to continue the journey with me in some way or not, but whether you do or not, I'm here to be in your corner. And the one thing I know is when you're at that event and you go, and I know you had the experience of tapping into who you really are, of taking away the veil of fear that comes in the form of all those limiting beliefs we come up with, and the things we've learned to accept because, when you're a little kid and you have these big dreams and then you get disappointed as you become a young adult or in middle age and things don't turn out the way you want, we all want to protect ourselves. We don't want to dream so big. We don't want to try so hard. Who wants to be disappointed? But what the weekend did, I think for you probably, is you had moments where you remembered what you're made for, or you remembered what you wanted for your life, you remembered what you're really hungry for, and where you let go of your fear of could it happen or not, and really gave your all and put yourself on the line. Well, that was quite a hit. But I'm passionate about this stuff. And so in that environment, I know you got it. And I know when you went through the Dickens process, I'm sure you had the experience of stepping up. That experience of saying, this stuff is BS and I'm not going to control them anymore, any of those limiting beliefs. I know you made some decisions on day 2, a couple of decisions you're going to act on. So I'm just following up to say, did you do that? Did you follow through on your decisions? If you didn't, it's not too late. Let's do it now. I'm here to say, remember what those limiting beliefs are and don't let them creep in, because here's what I know. When you're in that environment and we're playing full out and we've created an environment that's peak performance and we've all raised our standards, and I'm there to coach you each step along the way. I know what you're going to do. I know where the level's going to be. The challenge, of course, happens for many people because when you go home, it's not the same environment. And for many people, they go home to an environment that truly doesn't support their spirit. And sometimes it's friends that you really love, but they just don't have the same standard of what you're going for. And sometimes it's, unfortunately, a spouse. Sometimes it's a coworker. And so when you get home, it's easy to let life start to kind of, drift back into your life, what life was like in the old days, instead of life will never be the same again. And so my message to you, and the reason I'm reaching out, is don't let the momentum stop. If you got off track and you let these people start to pull down those limitations, by the way, it's not because they don't love you, it's just because that's the life they're living. It's not looking down on them like we're so much better, it's just they don't have the insights that you've had the privilege of giving yourself. And so what you and I have to do as leaders is say, it doesn't matter what happens in the environment. We're not here to try and convince people how great we are. What a real leader is somebody who knows what it is they really want in their life. They know what they stand for, and they're not going to settle for anything less than they can be or do or share. And I know at some level that's who you are. You wouldn't have been called to come to the event in the first place. And so I'm just reaching back out, a little nudge to you right now, a little tipping point to say, don't let life creep back in. Every day you got to strengthen your body. You can't hope. You can't just feed your mind. The body is where emotion comes from. You know from being in that event that emotion is created by motion. You got to engage your nervous system. So getting your physiology engaged is everything. And what I suggest to you is get yourself in the habit of doing the hour of power, or the 30 minutes to thrive, or 15 minutes to fulfillment. It really is 3 things. And I'm going to give you an audio for this here too. If you don't already have it, you don't have to buy a damn thing. Listen to this audio each day and go do it. And it's basically 3 things fundamentally at a minimum. If you're going to go just 15 minutes, or you can expand it, you do 5 minutes where your first step of that is just get moving. And I teach a breathing pattern that radically changes your emotional state, and you can even do it walking. Or you can make that 5 minutes, something like Tabata. If you're not familiar with Tabata, it's an exercise regimen that's very intense, so you can go from walking to the greatest intensity. Tabata is 4 minutes of exercise that will give you a stronger workout if you do it 3 times a week for 4 minutes than if you do aerobic exercise on a running track for 45 minutes 5 days a week. It's proven by science, developed in Japan. You want to know what it is? It's 20 seconds of going full intensity. You'd want to do a warm-up for this. Total intensity, as hard as you can run, sprint. You can do it on a bicycle. You can do it on a machine, any device that you want. After doing of that full 20 seconds, you have 10 seconds to rest. And then you do 20 seconds immediately more, full tilt, as hard as you can go, 10 seconds to rest. You do 8 segments of this. The total workout is only 4 minutes. You do those 4 or 5 minutes, you will find out how to get in shape like never before. So check out Tabata. Again, I'll put a link here for you if you're interested in it. Or you can just go for a walk, but it's get moving, get grateful. It's literally 5 minutes of thinking of all the people and the situations you're grateful for in your life. I tell you that because one of the richest men in the world died a few years back, one of the greatest investors in history, Sir John Templeton. And I'll never forget asking him, what's the secret to wealth? And he said, Tony, you already know it, you teach it. I said, I teach a lot of things. Which piece are you talking about? And he said, it's gratitude, Tony. When you're grateful, you're rich. If you have everything in the world and you're not grateful, you're poor. And he said, how many rich men or rich women have you seen they're angry all the time? He said, it's disgusting. He said, if you're grateful for what you have, there is pure wealth in your life. And I know that to be true. So just taking the time, it's as a ritual. See, life doesn't come great by doing something once. It comes from just developing these simple little habits. Get moving in the morning, at least 5 minutes. If you're gonna do an hour of power, maybe you get that moving segment being for 20, 25 minutes or 30. But the second segment is get grateful, and you can do it while you're moving still. You can do it while you're exercising. Just getting clear about what you appreciate, what's in your life today. It's recognizing that you're doing your part, but that there are gifts in your life. And when you feel grateful, there's no anger. When you feel, it's impossible to be angry and grateful simultaneously. When you feel grateful, there's no fear. And anger and fear are the two things that creep in from daily life, but we usually call it stress, because achievers don't like to say I'm fearful or I'm angry. I'm just stressed. Stress is because you're not bringing gratitude into your life as a ritual, as a thing you do daily. Get into action. Go do something as soon as you're done, something small or something big that moves you towards what's most important in your life. Don't do the to-do list. Do one action, either a hard one or an easy one, whatever's best for you. Some people like to do the hard one to get it done. Some people like to do the easy one to get some momentum. But do something to get yourself into action towards your goal or towards your dream. So that might be a long run. I was going to do this for 2 minutes, but it's probably longer than that. But I want you supported. Don't let this be the end. Let this be the beginning. And I just want you to know I'm in your corner, and so is my team. We're here to support you in any way we can. And over the next few months, I'll send you a few video clips or some audios, just to keep you in state. And my heartfelt wish for you is that you decide to make this a lifestyle instead of a weekend. I can't do that for you. You got to decide if you want to be coached. You got to decide if you want to go further. And if you do, by the way, we had for all of you available still a free coaching session. So you can call the company, and if you've been on Unleash the Power Within, you can get that coaching session. Someone help you get clear on your goals and a plan and get you going. We're here to make sure these things work for you. So stay in touch, but most importantly, keep the momentum going forward, all right? Know we're here for you. Live strong, live with passion, and God bless. Hey, it's Tony again. Listen, I just want to follow up and make sure you keep that momentum going in your life. And one thing that I thought might be helpful to you is when people come to the seminar, they're excited because they know it's coming, or they might be a little concerned as well, but it kind of gets you in state, because when you know there's something coming in the future and you're moving towards it, you start to anticipate it. And what I try to explain to people is that everybody in the world has goals, whether they know it or not. Some people's goals are to get through the lousy day, Some people's goals is to change the world. Some people's goals or dreams are to lose some weight. Some people want to make money. Ultimately, people's goals you would think would be to have a life that was meaningful, where you felt alive and passionate and excited, and where your life mattered and you're able to touch other people. But if you don't consciously select your goals, then you can find yourself falling into the trap of making a living instead of designing a life. And that's the majority of people in the world today. The people that are lucky enough to have a job. For the people who don't, they're just trying to get through the day. And so my suggestion to you is to keep the momentum going. If you haven't already done it, if you remember, we talked on the third day about this idea of these 3 pillars of lasting change or lasting improvement, 3 pillars of success. You said the first key was get focused. Get clear about what you really want. What do you really want? Why do you want it? Make it so compelling that inside you're so excited to move forward. And I want to remind you of that, because there's an area of your life that probably you're doing really well in. And we talked on the third day of the UPW seminar, we talked about this idea of there's an area you kind of suck in, an area that you're not happy with and you really want to change. And you might have found yourself getting home and then dealing with all the demands of your daily life and getting overwhelmed. And so what I want to say to you is, don't let that story that I got to do that later drip in. Pick one area of your life, either an area you're strong in, you want to take it to another level, take it higher, better, deeper, richer, more alive, more fun, more joyous, whatever it is, stronger. Or take an area that you haven't doing well and decide, over the next 90 days, I'm going to make major progress in this area of my life. 90 days, and set a 90-day goal of something that's going to excite you in that area. 90 days that you're going to make this thing happen, because your goals affect you, whatever they are. And if you don't set a conscious goal, you're going to be affected by the room around you. It's got to be a goal that moves you. It's got to be something that'll get you going. So what's an area of your life that you want to take to the next level? What's an area of your life you want to master not dabble in. Because, people say, oh, I want this, I want to make a lot more money, or I want to start a business, or I want to lose weight, or I want to have a great relationship. But then they dabble, they try something a time or two, and if it doesn't work out well, they quit. And you look at the people that are most successful on the face of the earth, and they're the people that, got turned down by, 102 banks, Walt Disney, right? Or people that went out there and they sold everything that they had to start a business, and it didn't work out so well in the beginning, but they eventually found the way. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's, people like, Mark Benioff, who created Salesforce.com, or somebody like, Virgin. You look at that brand and you see what, what was built out of that from the very beginning, when they were literally in a college dorm trying to figure out how to put out a little magazine, and had these ideas of this catalog they're going to sell records with, and no money and no response, and not able to pay the bills. And then, now all of a sudden you find people like that's first name starts with a Sir in front of it, Richard Branson, right? It's like the people that succeed are the people that didn't just have a dream or goal. They had a dream or goal that was so exciting to them, so obsessive to them, that when nothing worked, they kept on going. So figure out what's going to excite you like that. What's one goal, one focus? If you want to go 3, do 3 max. What's 1, 2, or 3 things that you're going to accomplish in the next 90 days that are going to excite the hell out of you? And then number 2, go get the best tools. Find a role model. Find somebody who knows that area, has mastered that area, and give you the insights and show you. Not somebody who's going to talk a good game, somebody who's done it. I don't care if it's investing in real estate, then go find the person who's the best in that stuff. If it's changing your body, you got to go do those things that absolutely work. Not some local person who's going to pump you up. Somebody's the best at what they do. And get a plan from them. You don't want to settle for what everybody else does. Look for those people that know the 2 millimeters that nobody else knows. They have the insight, and they can save you decades in a few days, because they know how to get you from where you want to go. But you got to bring first the goal, the desire, and then you got to go get that expert. And maybe you'll do it through books or tapes or audios or a seminar or an event or a mentor or somebody that you know, but that's the second step. And then the third step is, if you find yourself not following through, remember it's because you have some inner conflict. Like, you say, gosh, I really want to work out, but I work 16 hours, 12-hour days. I come home, and I need to be with my kids. I want to be with my kids. I got to work out and be with my kids. No, you don't. You just need a better strategy and get rid of the conflict. Maybe your strategy is from now on, 4 days a week, you get that stroller, and you go for the run with your kids, right? How powerful would it be to imprint your children that every day the bonding time with their parent is this thing called movement and exercise? And you're really getting the workout, you're really truly being with your kids, you're having a great time, you're outdoors, you're feeling alive, and you're not going to pick one or the other. Don't buy the story that you can't do something because you don't have the time. It's a lie. You just need to get more strategic. You need to get a little smarter. You got to be a little more playful, got to be a little more fun. And if you do something like this, it doesn't just affect you. When you come back and you're in such a great physical state, for example, it affects your relationships. And in this case, it would imprint on your son or daughter, maybe for a lifetime, that love can be experienced while we're moving and being alive. And what would that do long term for a child? There's just so many things you can do. So if you find yourself finding that inner conflict, identify it. And then just put yourself in a state where you kick its butt. You know how to change your state, a radical change in your body, a radical change in your focus, or get a role model that's already solved this. And I will say this to you, just one last thing. Now go. I just want to pop in and give you a little something, hopefully to keep you going with some momentum. Don't take on a goal or a dream or desire with somebody else as your buddy. Buddies are fantastic because it's a way to keep yourself on target. I mean, the ideal is you get a coach. And in fact, by the way, if you want a coach, we'll give you a free coaching session at Robbins Research. I'm sure they'll put a line or a phone number, something there. Take advantage of it. We'll help you get a plan. We'll show you how to break through. And then if you want ongoing coaching, we can deliver it for you. I get $1 million a year to coach someone, and I've trained all my coaches on exactly what they do to help people break through, not for a day, not for a week, for a life. I got my coaches that I still see. But get a coach. If you don't have a coach, get a mentor, but don't get a buddy that has not accomplished what you want to accomplish. Let me explain. One time, I'll never forget, I was on a television show that had a series of women that spoke on a variety of subjects, and I won't say the name of the show, The View. And there's some people on the show, quite a few people there that I am fans of. They're great people. Barbara Welch is somebody I've known for years, and just, I think, one of the most incredible human beings you could know. Incredible breakthrough woman in journalism. And I was there, I think it was in January, and I was doing a program on getting fit, transforming your body, getting the energy you deserve, and I was giving insights and strategies and tools. And afterwards, four of the women were all so excited that they literally followed me into the green room, and they said, you know what, this is such a different way of approaching this, and this excites us, and your energy is infectious, and we really want to do this. You know, we're going to start this together. You know, any tips? Because in the past, whenever we've done this, we start for a day or two, and then we don't finish. And I said, yes, I'm going to give you a tip, and it's not going to sound nice, but you want the truth, right? And they said, yes. I said, you know I respect you immensely. You're the best in the world at what you do, right? And I said, yes. And I said, don't partner with each other. And they said, why? We're friends. I said, that's the problem. I said, all of you are incredibly successful in your careers, but none of you are incredibly successful in your physical bodies at the level you desire and deserve. I'm not being critical. You've already told me this. So I said, here's the problem. You guys will all say, let's go do this. And then one of the people is going to go, oh, I'm tired this morning. Or I need to start by Starbucks and have a smoke, whatever that crap is they drink. And they all looked at me. At first, they were taken back, kind of aghast. And then you saw nods, right? I said, you're the wrong team to partner with. Partner on your careers. Do not partner on losing body. Go find somebody that works out every day and make them your buddy. Go hire, a coach. Go hire a trainer. Go somebody that when you call them and go, I don't feel like it today, they go, I don't give a damn what you feel like. We're doing this. Because that's how you're going to follow through. Listen, you got results in that weekend because we did certain things that I was coaching you to get you to follow through. That's what's going to work for the rest of your life. Get somebody who knows the answers, not somebody who's positioning, and get that person to be your mentor, your coach, your friend, the person to hold you to a standard and give you the insights, show you those 2 millimeters that can save you time and keep yourself going. Now, by the way, the hardest person to partner with, and the one I suggest you do not partner with in most cases, is your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Sounds great in the beginning. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're both fit and you both work out regularly, fantastic. But otherwise, there'll be a blame game that goes with each other. In fact, since you come back from the UPW, I'm sure, I mentioned this before, it's so often, you're so excited, you're so full of energy. It's like you go to a movie or amusement park ride or something. You go to a movie and it's so good and you come out and somebody says, what was it? You say, well, there you go, I just go see it, right? It's hard to explain what happened in 4 days and nights of 12, 14, 15 hours a day with 5,000 people in total immersion, right? I mean, how do you explain this? And what most people say to their spouse, oh, it was so incredible, I feel so alive, and you're all amped up and excited, and we didn't sleep, we didn't eat, I hugged a bunch of sweaty strangers. It was amazing. You're not helping yourself or me to touch more people with those descriptions. But when you're excited, this enthusiasm comes out. And it's hard to try and crystallize for someone else what's going on. And then also they're a little skeptical because they're like, this isn't going to last. And so truthfully in life, nothing lasts if you don't find somebody to partner with. Because think of it this way. If you're a burning stick and you get on that ground, you're going to burn out. But if you take that stick and you put it with a bunch of other burning sticks, you got a bonfire. And if one of us starts to go out, the one next to us will reignite us. That's the power of immersion. That's why I do events. That's why I have Master University. That's why I have coaches, to keep people reignited so that we use all of our abilities, talents, and skills, and so we don't settle for less than we can be or do or share or create in our life. So whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, make sure you decide what's exciting to you. What do you want to change? What do you want to improve? What do you want to make happen? 90 days, one 90-day goal. And maybe that 90-day goal with 2 or 3 action items. What are you going to do immediately? One of those action items is go get yourself a role model, go get yourself a strategist, go get yourself a coach, go get yourself somebody that knows that area that can save you enormous time. And then thirdly, make sure if there's any inner conflict, you overcome it by getting in state, taking massive action, or getting your coach to help you to break through whatever was limiting you in some way. If your spouse, by the way, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and you come back from the UPW and they're going, what the hell is this? And they don't seem very supportive, the best thing to do is not try to convince them, but to be more of who you really are. Not to let it get it down, not to say, why don't they support me, but to say, of course they'd be skeptical. They're afraid to get their hopes up. They're afraid that you're going to get excited about something else other than them. That's part of human beings. They're afraid that you're going to get your hopes up and be disappointed. They don't want you to be disappointed. So deliver for them. Step up for them. Get out of your own head in the midst of all you're excited about and say, what does my spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, this loved person in my life really need? And maybe this week, just figure out one thing you're going to do differently to improve their life. And that you're not going to ask for, you're not doing it for brownie points. You're just doing it because you love them and they deserve it. It's so hard when we're so busy in our lives, and there's so much distraction all the time, that we oftentimes let go of those things that are most important to us, and they get habitual. In any relationship that gets habitual because you're so busy, where someone doesn't feel your presence, sometimes you have to do anything. It's just shut up and be there for them. It's pretty magical, as simplistic as it sounds. But do something, keep the momentum going. That's the reason I'm reaching out. And you don't have to do anything with me to make that happen, but you do have to, one, decide what you're going to improve the next 90 days massively. Make sure you know why you want to improve it, what the reasons are. When stuff gets tough, why are you going to keep going through? What does it excite you? Come up with what you want, be specific, and make it compelling. 2, come up with your action plan. What are you going to do immediately today? As soon as you set the goal, who are you going to call? What are you going to schedule? What are you going to measure in? What are you going to do while you're still in state to make that goal start to move forward? What's a little thing you can do? What's a big thing you can do? Second part of that is get yourself a strategist, get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, go get a buddy, but get somebody that knows what they're doing to guide you. Third, find anything that's holding you back, overcome that, and the way to do that, of course, massive action, change your state, get through the BS. You know how to change your limiting beliefs. I don't have to tell you at this point, all right? I've gone a little long. I was going to give you a 1-minute message, but I hope it's been helpful for you. In life, the only thing that makes us happy is progress. Progress equals happiness. Progress is everything. Even if you're not where you want to be, if you keep making progress, you're going to get there. But more importantly, you're going to feel alive along the way. Because what makes us happy is growing and giving. And if you grow in this area of your life, you'll start to have more that you can give to other people in this area. And that's where it gets really cool, really exciting, and really passionate. That's what drives me still at this stage of my life. So I hope this is supportive of you. And I hope I'll get a chance to see you at some event sometime soon. And if not, I hope I bump you into the street. But whatever you do, make sure the momentum keeps going by you taking some action today. That's my reason for reaching out. God bless to you. Live strong and live with passion.